Let's jump right in. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating explainer. We are going to unpack the complete story behind a piece of technology that has quite literally reshaped our entire world. And this isn't just some dry story about lines of code. It's the story of the world's most dominant programming language.
Think for a second about the apps on your phone right now, or the streaming services you binge watch on the weekends. What about the complex algorithms predicting global financial markets, or even the rovers currently exploring Mars? So, what's the invisible thread connecting all of that? What single elegant programming language is just quietly running the modern digital world behind the scene?
Well, the answer is honestly staggering. 41.88%. That number right there represents Python's global market share on the PYPL Popularity Index, which basically tracks how often language tutorials are searched for all over the world. To put that massive number into perspective, the runner-up, C and C++, sits at just 11.5%. So Python is absolutely the undisputed heavyweight champion of the coding world. But how exactly did it get here? Section 1. The birth of Python. To really understand its massive footprint today, we've got to travel back to the late 1980s. This was an era where computers were really just starting to move onto desktop tables, and honestly, programming was incredibly complex. Our story centers on a guy named Guido van Rossum. He was a Dutch programmer working at the CWI in the Netherlands. In December of 1989, he was just looking for a personal holiday project, and he decided to write a totally new language to fix the frustrating flaws of an older language called ABC. By 1990, he was actually using it for a project called Amoeba, and then in February of 1991, he released version 0.9.0 to the world. Now, when you hear the name Python, you're probably picturing a giant, intimidating snake, right? Well, let's go ahead and dispel that myth right now. Guido actually wanted a name that was short, unique, and maybe just a little bit mysterious. He happened to be a huge fan of the classic British comedy series Monty Python's Flying Circus, so he just borrowed the name. It was really a reflection of the fun, approachable nature that he wanted this brand new technology to embody.
Section 2. A philosophy of simplicity.
Back in the 80s and 90s, most programming languages prioritized machine efficiency over human readability, meaning they were incredibly dense, unforgiving, and really hard to learn. Python completely flipped that script. It prioritized the actual human being reading the code. There's a famous guiding principle called the Zen of Python, and it states there should be one, and preferably only one, obvious way to do it. So unlike those older, clunky languages, Python pushed hard for consistency, making the code look and feel almost like reading plain English. Guido's core goals were actually super clear from the start. Python had to be easy and intuitive for absolute beginners, but at the same time, it still needed to be powerful enough for professional developers. It had to be open source, highly readable, elegant, and above all, practical. He wanted developers to focus their energy on actually solving problems, not pulling their hair out fighting with complex syntax. Section 3. The community and evolution. Now, even though Python was open source, it wasn't just the Wild West. In 1995, the rapidly growing global community gave Guido a pretty quirky, tongue-in-cheek title, the Benevolent Dictator for Life, or BDFL. Basically, this meant that while thousands of developers all over the world were contributing their own code, Guido was the steady, guiding hand. He acted as the final decision-maker, safeguarding the language's elegant design, until he eventually stepped down from the role in 2018. Under Guido's watch, the language went through this massive, sweeping evolution. Python 2, which dropped in the year 2000, saw explosive community growth. It introduced PEPs, or Python Enhancement Proposals, which was this great, transparent way for anyone to suggest new features. But fast forward to 2008, and they had to make a really difficult decision. Python 3 was released as a major structural overhaul to fix some deep-rooted flaws. And it was pretty controversial at the time because it wasn't completely backwards compatible with Python 2. It essentially broke old code to pave the way for a better future. But looking back today, that painful transition is exactly what allowed Python to scale into the absolute behemoth it is right now. Section 4. Powering the modern world. Today, Python is absolutely the undisputed lingua franca of the tech world. I mean, it is the foundational layer for the entire artificial intelligence and machine learning revolution we're seeing right now. If you're interacting with ChatGPT or generating those crazy AI images, Python is the engine doing the heavy lifting. It's the gold standard for data science, web development, cybersecurity, and automation. It's even being used in robotics and space exploration to analyze complex mission data. And to really ground this idea, just look at the household innovators relying on it every single day. Google has been using Python since its earliest days. Netflix relies on it for those recommendation algorithms that magically decide what you're going to watch next. Instagram's entire backend is powered by it. NASA uses it. OpenAI uses it to train their intelligent models. Python isn't just participating in the modern digital world, it is literally the engine driving it forward. Section 5. Learning and Career Paths. Here's the truly amazing part. Despite powering the most complex AI models on the planet, Python was designed from day one to be the perfect first language for an absolute beginner. Seriously, you don't need a fancy formal computer science degree to get started. You can write scripts that do incredibly powerful, interesting things in just 10 or 20 lines of code. So if you want to master it, the roadmap is actually highly realistic. First up, you just install it and learn the basic English-like syntax. Honestly, that can take just a matter of weeks. Second, you practice by writing simple automated programs. Third, you move on to building small, real-world projects. Now sure, advanced expertise requires continuous practice, but always remember, every single expert programmer out there started exactly where you are today, as an absolute beginner. And the global demand for these skills, it's completely off the charts right now. Whether you want to be a Python developer focusing on back-end web architecture, or maybe a data scientist visualizing complex market trends, or even an AI engineer training the next generation of machine learning models, Python opens the door to lucrative, highly flexible career paths. And yeah, that includes remote work and freelancing opportunities all over the globe. Section 6. Shaping the future. Whether you're just automating a simple daily task or you're helping build the next massive leap in artificial intelligence, Python helps you do it faster, smarter, and way more creatively. It's becoming one of the most important technologies of our modern digital world. And I love this famous saying, the future belongs to creators, and Python gives them the power to build it. Investing your time in learning this language isn't just a smart career move, it's future-proof. So as our world becomes increasingly automated, the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?